This week on In the Field, patience on the streets of Madrid. Hi everybody, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome back to In the Field, the show where I take you along with me on one of my photo shoots and talk about the experience and share what worked, what didn't, and what I learned. So this week is one of the shots I did while I was in Spain. And I found this place in Madrid, this street corner really, by perusing around maps, doing some early research on Madrid, and when I saw this particular corner at the one end of the Gran Via, main drag through Madrid, I knew I wanted to go shoot there. So let me show you this on the maps and then show you some footage for the shoot. So here's the center of Madrid, and if I zoom in here just a little bit, the Gran Via becomes quite obvious. It's this very thick, long road. And as I was zooming around the maps, I noticed that the one end here, this really cool building, the Metropolis building, looked just really great. Let me switch over to the satellite view here. And so I wanted to see, what I could find. And the 3D in Madrid is just great. I mean, the amount of detail I got here looked really cool. And as I was zooming around, I saw, this kind of scene here, this corner, looking, kind of like this. I was like, wow, this looks really neat. And this fades into the distance quite nicely. So I set out to shoot this thing, found that there is, sure enough, a little traffic island here. Originally, you'll see this in the footage in a minute, I thought about coming out to this point here because I really, really liked the look of this building. But it didn't quite work out that way. So I ended up setting up right about here, just on the other side of this pedestrian walkway in this little triangle of concrete, and shooting down the street as traffic came and went, using some of these other buildings here as my main foreground elements.
At the very crowded corner at the beginning of the Gran Via in Madrid, this is a spot that I scoped out earlier before the trip. Ideally, I wanted to shoot this building here, but there's a ton of construction work being done on it. So I've changed up a little bit, found myself a small traffic island. I was waiting for the sun to go down to get a good mix of blue hour ambient light and hopefully be able to pick up some of these traffic trails if traffic can actually keep moving. All right, I've set up high and I'm taking a few test shots. You can see I'm still blowing out highlights because the ambient light, the natural light hasn't dimmed enough. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the composition. Whoops. Let's try that again. There we go. It's pretty good, and getting in some decent traffic trails. This traffic's starting to move a little bit again. And so long as I don't get any major buses that show up in the front, things will be pretty good. Just got to wait a little bit longer for the blue hour to really begin. Something that's happening here is traffic is moving unevenly. Sometimes outbound is going well, sometimes inbound is going well. That means I'm going to take many shots and to get the right balance of traffic trails, blend a few things together in post.
Now, having seen this corner on the maps versus what I encountered when I was there, there was one building that was under some renovation, and so I needed to change the composition a little bit from what I had initially envisioned. But that wasn't as much of the problem as waiting for the traffic to do the right things. The right things being what I wanted photographically. Of course, they needed to stop at stoplights and let people walk in front of the cars when it was the pedestrians' turn to walk. Right things for the camera. Flowing smoothly through to get nice, smooth trails of headlights and brake lights. And it just took a lot of patience to get one frame where that happened. And I did spend nearly an hour on this little triangle of concrete between the cars zipping around so that I could get that type of shot, and if I needed to, blend in some other things for the sky in post-processing. So I ultimately came away with something that I'm satisfied with. It's all right. I can't say I'm thrilled with the shot, but I'm pleased with it. And really, I think the takeaway, the tip of the week for this week is patience. Realizing that you're going to get a shot like this where you want traffic to be doing certain things. This was kind of difficult because of the stop-and-go nature of the traffic. And if I had only spent 10 to 15 minutes, I wouldn't have gotten a single frame where I had good solid streaks of light through. And because I was so close to the traffic, I was less confident about blending multiple exposures together in post to get smooth lines. So be patient. I stuck it out and came away with something pretty good. That's it for this week in the field. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Shoot me a comment on the video here, a message through my website. If there's something you'd like to know about, composition, camera settings, whatever it might be, photographically, let me know. Your questions really help, A, let me know you're listening, which is great, and B, give me ideas about my own photography, about what to talk about here, and then we can all become better photographers together. Well, until next time, my name is Scott Davenport.